lifespan is like a completely separate thing. The heat from the Earth is actually from like the pressure building inside, not the.
I agree with Nike that the evidence of
Evidence, but it's still evidence related to aliens.
So, should we start with the first question? Alright, so the first question is rocks are solid objects that are very difficult to break. Who agrees with that?
Like seriously, what is the definition of a rock? We just know we just know this is a rock, but we don't know why it's a rock.
I think that like some types of rocks, such as like sedimentary rocks, are formed from like the compact of the minerals. So I think that is what made out of like rocks are made out of, and like minerals are kind of like a different thing.
It's like coming back to like sedimentary rock. Think of it like it's layers and layers of stuff. Like sedimentary rock isn't just bits and pieces of rock. It could be like if it's in the ocean.
I agree. I think that continents do move like centimeters over thousands of years because of seafloor spreading, because of the tectonic plates. And
I agree with Lila because like I found some evidence of that, like there was like a species of like an animal that was like really small, and then like they found it at like South Africa and like a part of Asia, and then they
tectonic plates, when they go down, they create a lot of vibration that could create earthquakes, and sometimes when they move, it creates a lot of friction, and that could cause volcanoes to erupt.
Anybody else, or should we move on to the third question? Belle.
So you're saying that continents move only a few centimeters with 1,000 years, right? But then we used to be so close together. I think we moved way more than a few centimeters, and I don't know how long has the Earth been here? Like 2,000 years.
billion, 2 billion years. I don't know. I think
For a Bell answer, the Earth was here for like 4.6 billion years, I guess.
It's like a few centimeters, only 1,000 years. It's like teeny tiny bits.
So what Bell said, 1 to 2 centimeters, 100,000 years, it's actually 1 to 2 centimeters for a year, not 100,000 years.
Number 3 says the heat and energy inside the center of the Earth comes from what is left over from the Big Bang. What is the Big Bang, first of all?
I think the Big Bang is it was the collision of many atoms like hitting each other and creating a really big explosion, which created many planets, suns, and many more things.
I think not only could it have come from the Big Bang, but like if like a bunch of rocks in the formation of Earth, a bunch of rocks came together in a gravitational pull, that could create lots of pressure, and pressure can often equal heat. So that's one other way that the core could be moving.
I want to ask a question to Duncan. How did the gravitational pull even create when there was no, like, how was it created, like the gravitational pull?
Well, the gravitational pull wasn't just from like a bunch of rocks, but it was also from the sun. But the chances of 2 of those rocks colliding, I don't know this for a fact, but this is an estimate. The bigger something is, the bigger its gravitational force is. So like because the sun is so big, we orbit it because we're like 1,000,000 times smaller than the sun. So even if like 2 rocks collided, they could bring in more rocks, and it would become bigger and bigger, and then it has its own gravitational pull, which
So every rock has its own gravitational pull.
sure. I don't know what to say.
I would like to answer to Harsh's question. So every rock and asteroid have their own gravitational pull, but the bigger ones, they have more gravitational pull, which means that they attract smaller rocks into their orbit.
Can they collide with each other?
Yes.
I think that since the Big Bang was such a big explosion, that the core is still hot. Like it's going to be hot for like millions of years to come, and that's why I think that the heat and the energy inside of the Earth comes from, and what is the leftover of the Big Bang.
Should we move on to the fourth question, or should we keep on going? Keep on going?